playing. Tell all of your friends, check it out. I'm saying, turn it up, turn it up.
You all can hear me. Hold on. How is this? All right. It is Friday, 3 p.m., and this is another live video at Georgia Space Chat. Um, Already getting a lot of comments over here. Yes, Joey, this is a button-down shirt and a linen shirt at that. So yes, this is an extra special show. Most definitely, I'm trying to keep this, you know, a little bit classy over here because I have quite a classy guest today. So anyway, I hope you're all well. I hope you're all doing everything you can to stay safe and sane. Man, Joey, I can't believe that you noticed this shirt. Unbelievable. That just totally breaks down my whole focus. Damn it. Anyway, um, welcome to yet another live video at Georgia Space Chat. I hope you're all doing well. Um, A little bit of housekeeping before we get started. As always, if you want to get in touch with me for lessons and or recordings, please email me at george@georgefarmer.com. Or and if you want to contribute to the cause and send a donation, small or large, to me, you can find my Venmo info and my PayPal info in the description of this video. Having said all that, um, stay tuned for next week where I'm doing Silent No More, the rumble, the whoop and holla, Native American music of today and its influence on popular culture and pop music. I already did one subject last week about the silenced majority, which I called the silenced majority, which dealt with Native American influence on popular culture and especially pop music. Very, very interesting subject and deeply touching and quite timely, as I'm going to explain next week. But let's get into today's video and today's uh, dedication of this hour that all of you are here to spend with me, for which I am truly grateful. And let me just state that also for the record. Some of you have been with me for over 40 videos now, and I cannot express my gratitude enough to all of you. This has been a great, great addition to what I do, and hopefully, this is a great addition to your process, your likes, dislikes, decision making process, concepts, etc., etc. I cannot thank you enough for staying with me and for continuing to support Georgia Space Chat. It really means the world to me. Stay tuned also for a bunch of other follow up videos that are coming your way. I recorded, I believe, 4 follow-up videos already. I don't No, that's not true. I recorded 3 already that are out there, and 4 additional ones at the beginning of this week. I don't want to give it away who's gonna come, but be prepared. Uh, there are some incredible, incredible artists coming your way, and they all decided. They all decided to share their insights. So get ready for something, because some of these people, like, I couldn't get myself together after talking to them, because it was so moving and also so deep, because what they have to say is so uniquely their perspective, and they decided to share their respective um, experiences with all of you and all of me, or all of us, I should say. Sorry about that. So there's some great follow up content coming your way. Please check it out if you're so inclined. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Sorry, I don't want to give it away. What can I say? All right, let's get into it. This week, this live video I wanted to dedicate to a great bass player by the name of Hubert Eaves the Fourth. And all of you who have been with me for some time now know that I am a fan of this gentleman. Let me call out some friends here real quickly before I continue. Adriano, I see you. Oliver, was geht's? Wie geht's? Buddy Williams, what's going on? Jose, Doris, thank you. I'm trying to look groovy. um, Darcel, good to see you. All right, on with the show. So I'm dedicating this hour to a great bass player by the name of Hubert Eaves the Fourth. And for all of you who have been following these videos, a couple months ago I did a video on an album that I thought was incredibly influential, that I know has been incredibly influential on me, and I think it's one of the great albums of our times, and that was Baduism Live by the fantastic Erica Badu. And the bass player of that album is none other but Hubert Eaves the Fourth. I want to give a big shout out to my man Damon Mendes with the "If You Don't Know Now You Know" show on Facebook. Y'all go there and check it out. Put it in your search engines. If you don't know, now you know. It's a show very similar to what I am doing on Facebook, a live video platform, or live. They present it in a live video format, um, and um, and they invited the entire band of the Baduism Live album, and that kind of spurred me on to say, okay, let me reach out to Hubert and see if he would be available to talk about his process, his concept on George's Bass Chat. And here we are today. So, big shout out to the "If You Don't Know, Now You Know" show. Go ahead and check them out. They have great content and just really, really good information that I thoroughly enjoy. Um, and I think all of y'all will enjoy as well. But coming back to Hubert Eaves the Fourth, I've been a fan of this gentleman's playing for a very long time. I shared the story already that when um, the first time I heard Baduism live, I was on tour myself in Europe, and I believe that me and the keyboard player, Michi Horneck, who's also on Facebook, who might even be watching this, um, we drove in either my car or his. I don't quite remember that, but we had a tape of Baduism live, and it blew us away. It floored us. The music was fantastic. The execution was just flawless. Everything about it was stellar. The singing was of the highest order. The songwriting was just fantastic, and once again, the arrangements and how everything went together was just unbelievably well done, well executed, and just beautiful. It was incredibly inspiring. And it has stuck with me. And that was, I should also probably mention that that was 97. That was 1997. So, quite some time ago. Nevertheless, Baduism Live has stayed with me, has still, is continues to be a source of inspiration and a source of motivation, you know, like every great album is. At this point, I do want to point out at this moment, I would like to point out check out the playlist I made. Again, this playlist, just like all the others, is going to change. But for now, what I did was that I curated it to the effect of putting a whole bunch of live albums together, because I see Baduism Live as part of a lineage that goes through music history, or the last 40, 50 years, going all the way back to Aretha Franklin live at Fillmore West, going to Curtis Mayfield live at the bitter end, um, Donny Hathaway live at the bitter end, And then there are also, of course, there's the Baduism Live playlist that I highly recommend everybody should check out. So I will, of course, add more music to this. But for today, we are talking about the bass player, and we're talking with the bass player of Baduism Live, none other but Hubert Eaves IV. Um, and here's a quick disclaimer. I don't know Hubert personally. I only know his playing, and I know the fact that his playing has influenced me greatly and many, many other people. So, this is a conversation between two musicians that you're all experiencing, um, with probably some, hopefully good information that's being transferred. But this is not, the kind of um, conversation that, for instance, I had with Francisco Centeno, where I've known Francisco for a number of years now. This is new territory. So, you know, see it as such is, I guess, is what I'm saying. And I know that Hubert is already in the waiting room, and I believe now would be a good time to get him in. So here is Hubert Eaves the fourth. Hey, what's going on, Hubert? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear
Awesome.
you.
What's going on,
And
Hubert?
you got me?
Yes, yes, we got you
All
loud and
right.
clear.
Well,
Awesome,
all
man.
right. Yeah.
I'm so glad to see you, man. This is great. This is fantastic. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I'm so happy to be here. Finally.
Oh
Finally.
yes, yes, most definitely. I just explained to the audience, that I saw you as part of the "If You Don't Know Now You Know" show with Damon Mendes, and that kind of gave me the kick in the butt to just reach out to you and say, "Listen, man, I'm doing this video. Would you be interested in being part of this?" So many, many thanks to you for making yourself available today. And talking to me and talking to the audience. I think that's really, really great. And we're all really happy. I don't know if you can't see this on Zoom, but I am seeing a bunch of people commenting already on Facebook. Buddy Williams says hello, by the way.
Buddy Williams. What's
Yes.
up, man? All right. All
he's
right.
he's following. He's
Funky
following.
drummer.
Oh yeah, he is a funky drummer. He's following all of our moves over here. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Um, it would be interesting, I think, to find out how did you get into the bass, and when did you get into the bass, and perhaps also sort of a little bit of background on where you're coming from musically. Who are your influences and all of that stuff.
Okay. What's up, all bass players out there, musicians, everybody? Thanks for having me. Um, and George Farmer, I have to thank you. This is really great. Appreciate it. Um, Bass. I first started playing bass when I was around, I guess, 10 years old,
Mm,
and that started kind of by accident.
mm,
I was playing in this band. We were doing like cover tunes and stuff. I was the drummer, and I was a
right.
brat. I was
Mm,
the youngest one in the band, always talking junk. They was always throwing me out of the band and bringing me back in, and just a brat.
just
So
just
whenever
terrible.
we would take breaks, oh, I was horrible, man. I would be raking on their lips and you big lipped at this, and you're just a little kid, just a brat.
Good.
But it was all love. It was all love. I learned a lot from those guys. But whenever we had breaks, I would pick up the bass player's bass and kind of just fumble around on it, and then he would get on my drums, and it started from there. My
Mm,
interest in
mm,
bass.
mm,
And my dad, who was a musician, Hubert Eaves III, shout out to Pops. He noticed it. So
right.
he made sure I had a bass.
Right.
And it just started from there, man. Just picking up records, playing My own grew from there. Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, no, we still have you. We still got you. It's just the internet sometimes slows down a little bit. You're still here. We can still hear you. Maybe just
I lost
repeat.
you for.
Yeah, just repeat the last sentence because we couldn't hear you.
Okay.
Basically,
Basically,
from where your dad noticed that you were into playing bass.
yeah. Yeah, my dad noticed it, so he got me I think it was a
Okay,
Carlo Robelli bass. That was my first bass.
right.
And you know, I loved it from that point on. You
Mm.
know,
So you're
I
basically you're basically self-taught and mostly by ear. I take it. Is that correct?
basically self-taught.
Yeah.
You know, I've had a lot of help. You know, like I
Yeah.
said, my dad's a musician.
Right.
I took a couple of private lessons when I was younger.
Right.
Um, but from for the most part, pretty much self-taught and just playing with great musicians, man.
Of course.
That's kind of been like my school.
Right, right. Now, in terms of influences, now is there any particular player that stands out, or is there any particular band that stands out? I mean, it sometimes we even bass players we don't necessarily know the bass players on our favorite records. So is there anybody that kind of jumps out at you as some where you really took a lot of stuff from or continue to take?
There's so many bass players. I mean, coming up, my biggest influence was Bootsy Collins.
Yeah.
You know, when I was a kid, 10, 11, 12, I was calling myself Hutesy. That's how much I was into him.
That is
That-
awesome.
I'm serious, man. I used to run around the house, with my collar belly bass and
Yes,
calling
yes.
myself Husey.
Huge. I
But
mean, of course. Yeah.
I'd say him. He was he was probably the biggest.
Right.
And believe it or not, Prince, because
Yeah.
Prince was a hell of a bass player, man.
Oh yeah. Oh
In
yeah.
terms of his feel and his pocket
Mm.
and just laying in the cut, being in
Right.
the groove.
Right.
Some of the bass lines that he came up with are just
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And I would imagine that you also play drums, so
Mhm.
perhaps there was something there because both of them, Bootsy and Prince, are just as much multi instrumentalists, just like you are. A lot of people, or a lot of people I talk to about you are like, yeah, the dude is no joke on the bass and no joke on the drums either. So I was wondering, coming from the drummer's perspective or from playing a lot of drums, how did that influence your bass playing? Like what are some things that you listen to where you could say, okay, this is where my drummer brain all of a sudden like kicks in, and this is where I connect, and how do you translate that onto the bass?
Mhm. Great question. Um, I would just have to say that I've always been into rhythm and
Right,
into things, just making sure the bass and the drums are that they speak to each other, that they're not fighting,
right.
And I think sometimes because I play drums, sometimes when I'm playing bass, I can kind of anticipate what a drummer might do. Not all the
Mm,
time, because there's
mm,
some bad boys out there that will throw something at me. I'd be like, whoa.
right,
But there's all depending on the gig and the type of song. There's just certain things that just make sense.
right,
That I say, oh, he might play a fill here, so I'm not going to play a fill here.
right, right.
Or he just played a fill, so the next bar might just be open, and that
Mm,
stuff is just instincts.
right,
I'm not going to pretend like I'm up there thinking about it, but it's just instinct. You
right,
feel it,
right, right.
and I try to rely on that.
Right, right. And then I believe that that instinct probably got honed through your formative years, and probably still is being honed into, you know, this very, very acute way of telling, okay, of listening, really, you know, a very, very acute way of listening, and being able to sort of divide yourself between the player and the listener at the same time, you know, who perhaps has sort of an overall view of what's going on, and perhaps, you know, there is something that comes from playing the drums that you know also just influenced you, because your hookup with the drummer is unbelievable. I mean, that kind of brings me to Badoism Live, you know, that album when that came out. I mean, blew everyone away. There's just no two ways about that.
Fuji Bell.
Fuji
Fuji
Bell,
Bell.
exactly. Yeah. For all those who don't know, who are listening in, and who are
Incredible drummer.
watching this, Fuji Bell is a fantastic drummer. Originally, I believe from Brooklyn and or Queens, but I believe lives in Philadelphia now, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong though. I'm
Yeah,
not.
he's in Pittsburgh, I believe.
In Pittsburgh, there you go. Pittsburgh, absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
So also Pucci Bell has
And Norman
long.
Hurt too.
Norman Hurt, yes, yeah. This that
That's
was the
right.
trio. That was the trio, and
Key master.
the sound that you guys produced was just incredible. There was the thing that still knocks me out after all these years is that with all the music that you played, there was never a moment where it seemed, first of all, there was never a throwaway moment. There was never something that was played without any intent or without, you know, a strong idea of where it came from. But then there was also never a moment of, how shall I put it? There was never a moment of silence or loss, even though sometimes it would get sparse, but it was all kind of controlled. And you know, that was something that I really struggled with at the time, and that I perhaps have a better understanding of it now. Nevertheless, I was wondering, is that something that came to you guys immediately? Did that happen over time? What was the process to get to that particular album, and to that approach to the music?
Hmm. Interesting question. Because I can't honestly say that there was a
Mm,
process.
okay.
I will. We had a great in keys, Norman Hurt.
Yeah.
We had a great leader in Erica,
Yeah.
and we had a great lock as a unit. So
Right.
we just kind of we just played, and we
Mm,
played off of each other. We played off of Erica,
right.
and a lot of the songs, um, they weren't complicated songs,
Right.
but they were very emotional. The chords were really nice, nice movement,
Right.
and melodies were really great.
Yeah.
So we never wanted to get in the way of that.
Right.
We knew that the show was a vibe, it was a mood, and I know, like for myself, I'd be zoned out. I'd be so relaxed
Mm,
and just zoned out and just feeling it. It was, I could just close my eyes and just play.
mm,
And every once in a while, Keys or Pooji would throw something in there and I react, or
mm,
vice versa. And it just kind of just happened. So
right.
there was no process. There was no I want you to do this, I want you to do that. Sometimes the show would be different,
Right.
on any given moment.
Yeah.
Because Erica, she would pull stuff out of hat. She'd be like, I don't want to do that song. Let's go to this one. Let's
Mm,
do this or do that. You just had to be ready.
right.
And that
Right.
was the great thing about playing with that unit. Keys and Fuji,
Mm,
just so seasoned that we just wrote with each other,
mm.
and great friends that helped too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
Hmm.
That is
That
that
chemistry.
Oh yeah, chemistry, of course, of course. I mean that's the underlying basis for all we do, so to
Sure,
speak. I mean, there's just no
sure.
two ways about that. Um, that is really interesting to hear because I mean there is a relaxedness in the arrangements, in the song, and in the playings, but then there's also an this is something that I might want to point out to the audience. Yes, there is a relaxedness. There is an incredibly wide pocket. That's very very deep and at the same time very solid. Um, but then there's also this heightened awareness. I call it heightened awareness that you guys had between the three of you, and perhaps also including the three background singers and Erica, of course. There's this awareness that the minute one
Definitely.
one
Yes.
element moves into one direction, everybody else follows, and then somebody else says something, and then we're following over there. So there's sort of a communal vibe going on that I found so fascinating and you know it, just incredible, really, really incredible. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. So, I mean, at the time, just to give you a little bit of background, I'm originally from Vienna, Austria. I moved to the States in
Okay.
'96, right? Um, at the end of '96, and then towards the winter change of that year, '96, '97, I had to go back to Europe for a tour of Austria, Germany, Switzerland, that sort of German speaking Europe, right? And that's when I heard the album for the first time. So it immediately, resonated with me. It resonated with the rest of the band that I played with. All this to say that if it got to me, even though I'm from Austria and I'm all the way over there, it got to a lot of people. Is kind of the point that I'm making. Like, it's usually Austria was sort of not the most hip, not, not the quickest in the uptake. But if it got to us there,
Okay.
if it got to us there, then it had established itself already in Germany and in the rest of Europe. Um, it changed the way, in at least, in my limited scope and experience, it changed the way how people approached these kind of singer songwriter gigs. It changed the way how people arranged music. It totally changed our listening habits in a major way. Having said all that, I understand that it might not be something that was consciously observed by you or the rest of the band, but was there some sort of, did you guys kind of feel the rumblings that this was going to influence a lot of people? Did you feel that while you were on the road, was there some sort of feedback loop, perhaps with the audience, perhaps with other musicians, where it was like, yo, we're doing something special here?
Um, I think more so after the record was out and the tours were finished and, able to look back, I think,
Mm,
at least for myself, I
right,
felt it. But in the moment, I mean, it was so long ago, but I can remember times when I would open my eyes and look out into the audience, and a lot of times they were just mesmerized
right.
by Erica.
Yeah.
I mean, she just held him captive. I mean, it was amazing to see.
Mm,
She's standing there. She's not doing no backflip. She's not showing no skin. She's not using profanity. It was all positive. She's lighting incense, drinking her tea, and nobody's moving in
mm,
terms of leaving their seats to go to the bathroom or whatever. They're there. They're
right.
just fixated on her.
Mm,
And I remember moments like that saying, wow, this is
mm, this is,
incredible.
yeah,
But by no means did I know then that, it was what it ended up being. I
right.
just knew that I loved the gig.
Of course, yeah, this is a dream situation, absolutely. And it's,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this the reason why I'm asking these questions is also because I want to um, present uh, employment as a musician. I want to present job possibilities, and I want for people to see these videos and this video in particular and see themselves in the two of us. Both of us, we're musicians. We do what we do. We live by playing music. It's all we know. We have a similar background in as much that I come from a musical family as well. So this is our life. This is what we have known our entire lives, and it's important for me to show that all of these situations are possibilities. These are possibilities for people who look like us. These are not just pipe dreams or the end result of something sort of nebulous and not really palatable or palpable. This is the end result, or this is the journey of working, and these are the experiences that you have when you are working. So that experience that you just talked to, that you spoke on, with being on stage and noticing that the audience is riveted, and totally mesmerized by Erica, is something that's very real, and that's an incredible thing to share. And that, I believe, is something that people can also tune into. So having said that, let's perhaps switch gears ever so slightly. Let me see if I still. Oh yeah, there you are. Switch gears ever so slightly and talk a little bass shop. What did you use on that tour in terms of instrument and amplification, and share whatever you want to share. I think I know it has. I know in the meantime what you use, because I already asked the question at the "If you don't know now, you know" show. Um, but a lot of people out there still don't know. All
You
right,
sure did. Yep.
it's believe me, that has been the a mystery for 20 some years now. Where people are like, "Oh,
Really?
I don't know what
Mystery.
he's." Yeah, that has definitely captivated a lot of people's attention. Okay, so what was it that you were using?
Wow. Okay. I was using 5-string MTD.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Michael Tobias, he's a genius, man. His
Mm,
basses are just absolutely incredible.
mm.
And so I was using that MTD, uh, uh, amplification 100 RB,
Okay,
no effects,
okay,
just my bass,
right.
amp, keys and Fuji, and the girls, and that's it.
That's incredible.
And we had, I got to give a shout out to our engineer, Gordon Mack, because he was a bass head. And
Mm.
I mean, I had people coming up to me at the end of the shows all the time telling me, whoever your engineer is, he must love you because he has you in the house heavy. So big shout out to Gordon. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Well, did you guys travel with your engineer?
Yeah, pretty much Gordon, he was our engineer. He had an assistant every once in a while, but
Okay, okay.
from what I remember, he was always there. Yeah.
He was the main dude.
Hmm.
Now, let me just ask us, because our
He was the
connection
main guy.
our connection went a little south just for a second. What was the amplifier you were using?
Oh, that was a Gale and Kruger
Okay,
800,
okay, okay,
RB 800,
okay.
and I might have been using a Trace Elliott sometimes.
Mm, mm.
Uh, yeah, I was using a Trace at some point. Um, but that was about it. Usually it was a Galen Kruger, because I'm not really a tech guy, man. When you start giving me these amp heads with all of these sweepable mids and all this, I'm like, get it out of here. I know how my bass sounds.
Right, right.
I like to control my sound from my bass. All I need is the amplification,
Mm,
and we'll be good from there.
right, right.
So
So
I like to keep everything simple, man.
right, right. So you really just use the amp to sort of bring up the signal of the bass. Um,
That's it.
no particular EQing or anything like that. Whatever the bass has is what you want to send out and make sure that it's being heard.
Pretty much my amp was always set to flat.
Check that out. Mm,
I might give it a hint to treble, all
okay.
depending, how it felt that night, but flat, and I made adjustments on the bass.
Mm, mm.
And that's how consistent that MTD 535
mm,
was and is. It's still my main axe.
right, 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 right,
Mhm.
right, right. Incredible. What kind of strings were you using? I know I'm not that much of a tech head myself, but I know people who are out there who are, and they will give me a hard time if I don't ask you. So,
Cool. I got you, bro. I was using DR strings.
okay.
I believe they were low rider.
Mm, okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that is a unbeatable combination right there. I mean, that's so solid, and it shows. It absolutely shows. There are some YouTube videos out there of that particular band, uh, and they have you playing Music Man, I believe, and then there's one video I think with you playing an acoustic bass guitar. But according to you, that was not the main. Those were perhaps backups or different situations. Um,
yeah. The Music Man, I think that
mhm.
uh,
Oh,
that
right.
did I lose you?
Yeah, we're still here, but we have a somewhat.
Because I don't know if you can
I can
hear
still hear you. I can still hear you. Just give me a second. We'll figure it out. It will
tell.
probably. Yeah. Oh, no. Let's see what happened. Oh, there you
You
are.
got
You're
me?
back. Yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
cool, cool.
Yeah, that happens every now and then. I mean, there's a lot going on the internet, so
Nah, it's cool. It's
there's
expected.
yeah, exactly.
No
Yeah.
problem.
So you
We
were
roll.
saying, yes, we do. You were saying the Music Man. You used it only every now and then, or what was the deal?
Actually, the Music Man, at that point, I didn't even have the MTD.
All
So
right.
that was probably what I was using back then. And the funny thing is, I saw that video, you know, not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Music Man. I couldn't tell you where that bass is. I have no clue what happened to that bass.
That's crazy.
I wish
That's
I still had that bass. It was pretty. I said, man, that's a beautiful looking bass. I don't
yeah.
know where it is, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but obviously, since the MTD came and that was kind of that was it. That was it, at least for now.
Yeah. The MTD that's just my sound, man. That's
Right.
that's that's what I love. That's what I feel, and it covers so many different styles of music that
Right.
that one I keep track of.
Right.
I know
Right.
what it is
Right.
at
Right.
all times.
And one is not lose. Not you're not. That's not going to leave the house for now.
No,
Oh
not at
yeah.
all.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, listen. I mean that's a great segue to your new single, which I played at the beginning of this video. I started the whole video a little early, so I played it twice through already. People were listening in on it. People were commenting on it. And for everyone who is watching this, who is listening in, please check out the link to Hubert Eaves' new single called Radio, which I put in the description of the video, and which I will also put into the comments right now. Give me just a second. It should be right here. Let's see. There it is. Okay. Boom. All right. So check out this album. Check out this single called Radio. It is new music that's funky, that's contemporary, that is totally of today, and it's all made by Hubert Eaves the Fourth. Hubert, what was the inspiration behind Radio? How did that come about?
Well, let me just say first, it wasn't all made by me. I
Oh,
have some other people on there that I'll mention in a minute.
of course.
But yeah, but I did write, produce, mix, and engineer it, but I had some help.
Mm-hmm.
The inspiration, I would say, was all my years, all my experience of playing and writing and recording. And I always wanted to do my own project. And it was
Right.
something that I always put off and put off and put off and put off. And the timing now, just with so much time on my hands because of the state of the world right now,
Right.
I just said, you know what? This is the time. It's time to
Right.
do it.
Right. Right. Right.
And
Right.
that's how it came about.
And you're playing drums and bass on it, you're singing on it, and then you have a bunch of musicians on it. So I think this would be a good moment right now to feature, or to at least let people know who is on this single, because the playing, the everything is just stellar. It is just stellar. It's,
Thank
you know,
you so much, George.
of course,
It's
absolutely.
much appreciated. Radio. Okay, I played drums. I played bass. I played the Rhodes.
Mm.
I had my dad came in on acoustic piano.
Mm.
Shout out to Hubert Eaves III,
Yes, indeed.
my hero, my everything. Him and my mom. Uh, I have Chops horn section on there.
Yes.
Incredible horn section. You know, you see those guys everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Um, you know, you take the horns off that track, it's just a track. The horns, they really bumped it up another level. So,
Mm. Mm.
you know, I got to make sure I give them their props.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I had the incredible Randy Bolin, guitarist,
Mm.
playing all that sweet stuff up on the track. You know, he
Yeah.
blessed the track for me. Um, and that's it. I mean,
Mm.
the rest of the stuff was pretty much me just working in the studio. Like you said, I did the vocals.
Right. Right. Yeah. Now I love what I
You
love
know,
what I love
that was
about that. What,
one more time.
that's all right. We're still here. We're still here.
Got you.
What I love about it is that from the minute it starts, there is this, for a lack of better description, there is this beautiful dark tone that kind of comes through, that is at the same time soothing, as it is compelling, as it just draws you in, and there's a melodicism in your playing that I thought was, that I don't necessarily hear from anybody else, that's really unique to your style. I was wondering that there's the way you approach a groove is that there are a lot of melodic elements in it, and I was wondering where did that come from, because it is unique. There's it's not only sort of the comping style of playing background, but there is a lot of give and take in terms of melodies, uh, quotes. There's a lot of like back and forth going on, and I was wondering if you could sort of give us an idea of where that comes from.
Hmm. I would have to say it's a combination of playing bass and drums and by no means am I a keyboard player. I just play enough to write, and I can whatever I hear, I can pretty much figure out. And
Mm-hmm.
if I can get it done, I get it done. If I can't, I'll have someone else come in and do it. But I think it's just from just liking all different styles of music,
Mm.
and I know my goal with radio was because I old school.
Right.
I remember when bands had guitar, they had a horn section, they had background singers, it was a full band.
Right.
My goal with this song was I wanted to make it as busy as possible.
Mm.
I wanted to fill in as much of the song that I could
Mm.
without it being too busy
Right.
and still having a pocket.
Right.
And that's what I hope that I was able to accomplish. That was the goal for that song.
Okay. Okay. Well,
And if you
there's.
listen to it in headphones, you'll hear
Oh
there's
yeah.
all kind of stuff going on in different pockets and stuff. That's what I achieved. That's where I
Yeah.
was at with that one.
I was just thinking as you were saying that, I was just thinking at the end there's sort of there are two sort of ride out moments in the song. There's one after the what I call the verse with "Hey Mama" or "Hey Daddy," I'm on the radio slaying and all of that, and then all of a sudden you go into this sort of envelope filter, neutron based, funky, bubbling. I mean, I don't have a good, I can't really describe it. Guys, you have to listen to this. This is crazy good. All right. Um, that it is so funky, it is so busy, but yet at the same time it is so controlled, and it never, nothing ever gets in the way, and that is a high art form. That actually brings me very much back to Baduism, where it was sort of, at least I see a parallel between radio and Baduism right there, because you never get in the way. And yet when me as a bass player, when I try learning the lines that you put down, and I'm, partially I'm writing them out, partially I'm just learning them by ear and memorizing stuff, I'm noticing, oh, wait a second, there's a lot more going on than what it sounds like. That is, how do you get to that point somehow? That's, I mean, I know that's perhaps a dumb question to ask, but like, what is your process right there when you sort of have this give and take, where you find stuff to say and then find stuff where you're laying back in the cut? What is that process like for you? Hmm. Let me see if you're still here. You still with me, Hubert? Let me see. Hmm. Maybe try going out and coming back in, because it seems that we've lost you there for a second. All right. There you are. Hmm. Yeah, we'll get you. We'll get you.
Check.
Sometimes what I've noticed with Zoom is that with the Bluetooth, it does not cooperate so well with Bluetooth. Um, I don't know whether you're using the Bluetooth headphones right now, but sometimes that can add to the delay. Nevertheless,
Oh,
you're on right now.
okay.
Did you hear the question that I asked?
If you could hit me one more time with it,
Sure,
because
sure,
you
sure.
know,
It was the I see a parallel between Baduism and radio, because with radio, of course, the emphasis, there's more of an emphasis on the bass playing. There's certainly more, you hear more of the bass. Nevertheless, with Baduism, you do hear a good amount of bass, and it sounds deceptively easy, very much like radio. When you hear radio, it's such an earworm. It has an earworm quality, right? It goes in, it stays in your head like right away. There is this idea of basically being busy and at the same time leaving space, being busy and playing busy and at the same time leaving space. And I was wondering, how do you approach that? Is that perhaps also something that where maybe this, to bring it all full circle, comes from playing the drums, or what is there a concept behind that?
Um, I, my guess would be a lot of it is from playing drums, just the syncopation and being able to get in and out. But it's also from uh, writing and producing,
Right.
because a lot of times um, when I'm playing, I'm when you write and when you produce, sometimes it's a curse when
Right.
you're in a live situation, because you're hearing everything. You're hearing what, okay, this guy just hit a wrong note. This one's doing it. Sometimes that's cool. Sometimes it's a drag. And and
Mm.
I'm sure a lot of people that write and that produce, they can probably understand what I'm trying to say. I don't know if
Oh
I'm
yeah.
saying it perfectly or not,
No, no, no. This you make a
but
lot of sense.
yeah, so it's kind of like seeing the picture, and if I'm playing something, I might feel like, what, I might not want to play here. It's a little bit too much because I'm stepping on the vocalist or I'm stepping on the guitar player. He's doing a little something. It's just picking your spots, just
Mm.
just knowing when, you can't shine every measure of the song. It's
Of
not
course.
always about you, right?
Right.
Somebody
Right.
else has something to say. And I've
Right.
I've never been the bass player, the type of bass player who can play real fast and a whole bunch of crazy runs. And although I love that style of playing,
Yeah.
and I respect the guys that can do that, um, at this point, I can't believe me. I'm at home practicing trying to get there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, yeah. I mean, but
Same
so
here.
I
It's- it's- yeah. There you go.
it's we're a work in
we're,
progress, but
we're, we're right there. We're right there.
yeah. So I pick my spots.
Mm, mm, Yeah, that's. I mean, that is a great art form, in my opinion, to kind of find the right spots, find the right turnaround, and sort of be aware in the moment. Because as I said at the beginning, like you have to divide your awareness, right, between what you're playing in the moment and getting all this information from what's going on around you. So that, yeah, I have no other way of saying that I believe that's a great art form. Um, that's really something that a lot of players are at least working
You
on.
got
I
me?
don't know. I got you. I hear you. You're still here. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Internet keeps going
You
in and out.
I know you went alien on me for a minute. I was like, that does not compute.
No, that's just my listen. There's nothing alien about it. It's just my accent. That's all. That's-
All good, brother.
yeah. Well, listen.
All good.
Um, just to wrap it up. I mean, going forward, is there? Um, I wanted to ask you this and see if if you can share some light on this. Is there going to be a Hubert Eaves album? Is there going to be an EP perhaps, or something like that? Because I believe radio is blowing my mind right now, and I'm like, damn, if the brother has more
Thank you.
music, I will listen to it. Okay, so are you working on an album? Is there something in the works?
There's definitely a EP, that's for sure.
Mm,
I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a full album. Uh,
right.
uh, yeah, I don't think that I want to do a whole bunch of songs at this point,
Mm,
but I'm looking at doing 6 to 7 songs
mm.
on the EP,
Very
and
cool.
Yeah, I mean, when I get off the chat with you,
Mm.
I'm working on the next one. Yeah, it's
Incredible.
almost done too. Almost
Nice,
done.
nice.
Yeah,
Well, listen, just
yeah.
send over a link, and I'll promote it over here on the Georgia Space Chat. This it's now the base chat has nearly 1,000 members. Um, it's not super big, but it's also not all that small anymore. So I definitely, and I tell that to all of the members of the base chat, like, if you have something to share, just put it up, share it. This is your forum just as much as it is mine. And I'm of that opinion that if one of us does well, we all do well. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, you know,
Yeah.
Buddy Williams says that we are too funky for Zoom. Har-
PW.
yes, man, he is. I am so grateful, to have met him as well. Because he's been a big influence on everything, and uh,
Sure, sure.
this it's very very similar because the two styles, you're playing and his drumming, um have somewhat of a similarity, at least in my mind, in my head, where you're able to say a lot with very little and sort of distill everything down to its essence, and therefore kind of use the intent of whatever is behind that you're playing. Let me give you an example. I was at a session. Buddy was presented with um, a drum track that was 100% programmed and had a lot of drums on it, drums, percussion, everything. He was able to
Mhm.
listen to it. He had listened to it already. He kind of reminded himself, remembered the track, listened to it again, and was able to put all of the information into the drum set, right? Um, and that kind of like take out everything that where beats were on the same beat or on the same hit, or hits were on the same beat, like distill it down to its essence. And listening to Baduism, listening to radio, I hear that in your playing. I hear sort of everything distilled down to its absolute essence, and to its absolute intent. And therefore it might seem as if there's less going on, but the minute you start listening closely, you notice that, oh, there is like phrasing, there is dynamics, there are ghost notes, there's all of these ingredients are in there, in, for lack of better description, perfect mixture, right? um so I see, you know all this to say that I see some similarities where that is concerned, between both of you all playing. um and going forward, I am excited that you choose to put out an EP. I think that's a great move. Is there, I mean, I know that we are right now in lockdown, in pandemic world right now. Is there anything that listeners, that people watching this should look out for when they are looking for Hubert Eaves the fourth, for new music, for new productions? Is there anything else that's going on in your life?
At this point, it's the radio project.
Mm-hmm.
I have a title for the EP. Want to say where my focus is right now.
Okay.
Strictly on that. Just I want to do the absolute best project that I can do, and give
Mm-hmm.
it all of my love and intention, and
Mm.
just see what happens. Just want to have fun. This is all about, to me. It's all about having fun. I'm
Mm.
not trying to impress nobody with a whole bunch of slick craziness. With here people in to include on that. There's a reason why I call certain people. I
Mm.
want their input. So if I call you, it's like I know what you're gonna bring to the table, and
Right.
so far I haven't been disappointed
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. I totally get that. Well, listen, Hubert. Thank you. I want to thank you again. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for making yourself available. Thanks for the continued inspiration and the playing and the music and everything. Because I think I know it means the world to me. I know this, can mean a lot to the people out there watching. Um, seeing people like us talk shop, talk about our process, or lack thereof, or concepts, or whatever. I think that's very, very important, and I want to thank you again for making yourself available to this. This means the world to me. This is really fantastic insight. Um, any parting thoughts, anything that sort of speaks to you, that you want to put out there for people to figure out?
Well, first, I want to thank you, brother, because showing me love like this is much appreciated.
Oh yeah.
And I will make sure that when I'm done with this next one, you will get it. And I'll let you check it out because I want to get some feedback. And I definitely respect your opinion. I can tell that you do your homework and you're well studied, and so much props to you and
Thank
to the
you.
base chat. To everyone listening, I'm absolutely grateful. I hope uh, young bass players can find this inspirational because I'm not doing anything that you can't do. Just
Mm,
pick up your bass and get busy.
mm,
Um, that's pretty much it.
mm, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. Hubert, thank you so much once again for being here. I really appreciate it. I will, of course, um, everyone out there, check out. Let me put the link into the comments again. Just a second. Check out radio. There we go. Boom. There
Oh,
it
hey,
is.
hey, George, man, one of those pictures you posted up, man. I like what you added to it, but you got to try to edit that booger out my nose, man. What's up with that, man? I had like a gold booger in my nose or something. I started to call you. I said, you know what? That's funny. Leave it. No big deal. See, that's a nugget right there. So that's
this,
that's that's gonna be something.
yeah. I had no idea. But I'll promise. I promise to get better at my artwork.
Nah, it's all good, man. That's why I didn't say anything. Just
That's
jokes.
awesome. Awesome. Well, listen, Hubert, thanks again for being here today. And everyone out there, check out radio. You can get it on Apple Music. You can get it on iTunes. Hubert Eaves the Fourth, laying down some truth today.
Spotify, Amazon.
Spotify has it as well. Okay, Spotify has it as well. Check out this single. I think it's a perfect representation of modern uh, bass playing. It's a great song. Coming from a great player who, let's not forget, that has influenced thousands of people via Baduism Live, via his approach, via his tone, his intent, his yeah, via his force, that he put into that album and into the love that he puts into the music he makes. So I really appreciate your time, Hubert. Thanks again.
My
I
pleasure.
hope we can do this again. Perhaps we'll have some follow-up videos with you, about you, from you, about other people. We'll find out. But for now, let me close this hour plus with what I say every week, which is be kind, be cool, and remember that we only have each other. All right. Now, see you all next week. Hubert, take it easy. All
My
right.
brother, you too. Stay
Later.
well.